like you drink blood and you're a vampire and whatever. That's going to stop you from going and shooting a movie somewhere?
That's
that seems weird to me.
I don't get that. Now I have a statement from that company, from that studio. It says, given the imminent start date of Shotgun Wedding, Army has requested to step away for the film, and we support him in his decision. But that also doesn't add up.
Yeah. I learned from my favorite show, TMZ, that he's, I think, recently got divorced and is with a much younger gal. I think that was my TMZ takeaway from a few weeks ago.
Thank you.
Max
Hot
Zapata
pass.
can look that up. But this feels very weird that he would, maybe he doesn't want to work with, you say Jennifer Lopez?
Mm-hmm. Jennifer Lopez.
Could she take a fucking week off? Jesus Christ.
Making everybody look bad.
If she's not, doing the inauguration, she's at the gym, the Super Bowl halftime, just fucking give it a break. Sorry, go ahead.
Would you say that to The Rock?
Yeah, I would say that to The Rock, too.
He was forced out. I'm sure he was, he had to write that via his publicist or whatever. Like, Armie Hammer's kind of on the fringe of being like an actor who works a lot and a big star. Like, he's not quite there. So I imagine co-starring in a movie with Jennifer Lopez would have been very, very, very lucrative for his career. I'm not saying he got paid a lot. I'm saying it would have been very good for his career. This doesn't add up.
I have a theory.
This scares me. Yeah.
She's a diva, and she's kind of on the short side, and he's really tall. Maybe she didn't want to. Short people don't like working around tall people. I know.
Oh, you're talking about Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, sorry. Yes. Mm-hmm. I know I'm tall, and people just don't like working with me, but it has nothing to do with my attitude.
That's because you're tall.
It's my height.
You're a lanky fella.
Yeah.
Even have trouble with other guys that are 6'3", 6'4". They just have an attitude issue because of my height. So it's like Tom Cruise. He has to have the short, leading ladies, right?
He has to stand on the apple box with Nicole Kidman.
Right. So I don't know. Maybe there's a height thing there. Is he dating a young chick? He's separated after 10 years of marriage. I think he's with some. Anyway, feels weird. I'll tell you what's weird. About any of these stories. When somebody has an allegation of something weird and something nefarious and something whatever, and then you go, oh, that's completely untrue, that's insane, I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, and then you go, and I'm going to cancel my next project.
Yeah.
Like, that feels weird, right? Like, if it's just nothing, then why not just get on with it?
But also, what did he do? I
don't know.
He sent some creepy texts, and now he doesn't get to work. This one I don't understand. Like,
also,
I don't get it.
Can't we, there's a whole COVID thing. People are sitting home. They're hitting the sauce pretty hard. The phone's fucking sitting on their lap. You know what I mean? Can we cut at least Californians a little slack for some of the texts and tweets?
Yeah.
And, people are home drinking pretty good. They got that phone on them. You got to think about
point.
that. Yeah.
We'll look back on this and be like, it was COVID.
Yeah,
text.
it was COVID.
Right. Etsy, it's like a homemade sort of craft website where you can get like lots of little bespoke things from artists that'll, create it for you. Etsy has pulled one of their shirts, which I did not realize you could get on Etsy. Etsy's like, jewelry and like cute baby clothes. You can also get a T-shirt that reads Camp Auschwitz. They blocked the seller from the business only after a man was seen wearing the shirt at the riots that happened in the Capitol. I think Kaylin has both those pictures. So he was spotted, and that man, by the way, was arrested. There he is. We're looking at pictures.
Got that on Etsy?
Wow.
Yes. There is a
version
very
of
similar
that.
shirt, and it says Camp Auschwitz with a skull and crossbones. His says "Work makes you free," which is what it said. Work our by. Whatever. That was what you'd see when you went into the camps. And this shirt also exists on Etsy. We're looking at that right now. Last week, that rioter stormed the Capitol, making the headlines for this. Otherwise, this would have, I imagine, a safe and secure home on Etsy where nobody would bother it.
Chris, take a note. We for the crowdfunding campaign, we had the Camp Auschwitz as one of the.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Let's just go Camp Beverly Hills.
I like that better, too.
I told Nate he thought it was edgy. I said, probably cross the line.
Yeah.
So you can get
For certain
Gonna wanna,
So
you're gonna
now
wanna get rid of the,
you could wear that when you're having lunch with me and Cedric the Entertainer.
Okay.
Okay. There you go.
cancel
Sorry.
the Dachau one and the
Yeah.
Burton.
Oh, yeah. That goes. And Nate's from Montana. He doesn't really know the ways of Los Angeles, you know?
Right.
All right.
So,
Sorry.
Or you're going to want to order quick. It's get pulled down.
Remember, were you guys around for all the Camp Beverly Hills T-shirts? Did that
Those were
make its
cool.
way to your town?
Yep.
No, what was that?
They were cool.
I remember the 90210 T-shirts, because that was big at the time, but I don't know what this is.
There was Camp Beverly Hills was like T-shirt, sweatshirt. I don't know if it was a place. Like there was these weird, like Olivia Newton-John owned a place called Koala Blue, and it was all just Australian shit. There's Camp Beverly Hills. Gina's showing us.
Saw that.
I thought it was just a brand.
It was, I guess, a brand, and it was popular, but it was just on T-shirts and like sweat jackets. But they didn't have any. I don't know. They have like a Camp Beverly Hills store next to the Kardashian store or something. What was that Kardashian store, Gina?
Dash. I mean, I don't know.
Right. Is that they don't have that anymore?
No,
do they?
they're so over that life. They don't have time for that.
Yes.
Speaking of big money, Mickey Mantle, that baseball card just sold for millions at auction. It sold for $5.2 million to be exact, smashing the previous record by over $1 million, according to TMZ. This is a 1952 number 311 Topps Mickey Mantle. It's considered one of the most desirable trading cards in existence. Here it is right there. This isn't the only time that this particular Mantle card's been sold. Back in 2018, it sold for $2.88 million. 2 years later, it doubled that. Before the Mantle card set the new record.
Wait a minute. Give me that. What are the dates? Let's try to figure out the value.
In 2018, it sold for $2.88, so $2.9 million.
Right.
Then it almost doubled in value 2 years later.
Yeah, you guys, anyone who's like buying something at an auction needs to, all the husbands need to keep this in their back pocket for the missus when, you're going, you want to pay blah, 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 for blah, 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 blah. You go, yeah, this is what could theoretically happen. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, before the Mantle card set the record, a Mike Trout 2009 Bowman Chrome Draft Prospect Superfractor held the title for $3.9 million. And who bought this card for $5.2? It's a guy named Rob Gough, Gough. He's the guy behind the CBD brand Dope CBD, which apparently does very well because he bought the card for $5.2 million.
How crazy is it that Trout, who's still playing, has the card out? All the other cards are like Honus Wagner and shit like that. The idea that this guy's playing and his thing's out. Camp Beverly Hills is relaunching this year.
How do you do it? Well, what do you know?
Camp back in session.
I just camp back in session.
Why would that have been on your radar?
Who's going to?
I don't know if I ever brought up Camp Beverly Hills on this show.
Never
heard of it.
But they're relaunching this year after a 35-year hiatus or whatever. Is it just like a clothing line, or was there like they had retail stores and stuff?
Yeah, so it was a clothing line launched in 77, became a pop culture phenomenon in the 80s. But then due to all the 80s nostalgia today, they announced a relaunch. They were bought out in the 2010s by a guy named Jay Foreman, and they're making a big comeback now.
Well, sign me up.
Line.
Yep. Sorry.
Right.
What are you saying, Brian?
I was a baseball card nerd for a few years of my life. It was one of the most important things in my probably 10, 11-year-old life. I remember when I used to get Beckett Baseball Card Monthly, which was a monthly magazine that was literally a price. It was the industry price leader. I mean, they set the prices basically for cards, and the Mickey Mantle card was between $20,000 and $50,000 back then. This would have been 1990, basically. But I'm wondering if Chris can look this up. My guess is the Mike Trout card you're talking about is either a one-off or they made like 5. Because he's a great player, but there's no way it should be that much money, aside from being a one of a kind.
Are you speculating that they didn't make a whole fuckload and that almost everyone has one?
Well, you wondered out loud.
Is that your assertion?
Why
No,
is the
I
Montreal card
know.
so much?
They made one or five.
It's a one of a kind.
Yeah, I mean, sort of obviously, but when I'm the guy who didn't know cookie had to do with
You're
cooking.
not alone.
Not
apparently.
at all.
But ask Kalen. I'll bet he doesn't know what cookie is either. But yeah, obviously it was very limited, otherwise impossible. But still, pretty cool that a guy that was playing in modern day was laying claim to was the most expensive card. Kalen says, no, he doesn't know. He doesn't know cookie.
No.
Did he respond to his name?
Yeah,
Kalen?
he did.
Okay, just
Yeah.
checking. All right, sometimes I just want to make sure
That part he got,
knows.
yeah.
He knows you're talking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was aware.
Okay. All right. But I didn't think he'd know. This is not a young man's sport, this wagon train cooking.
I thought
yeah,
maybe
okay.
Kalen would have an edge because of Dad.
He was in Tombstone.
But no. it didn't
Yeah,
help.
Dad was in Tombstone.
Yeah, his dad was in a lot of westerns, and you'd think Kalen
Yes.
was in a western.
Really?
Yeah,
Do
really?
tell.
What Western?
there's some show where he was just Michael Biehn brought him in just as like a cameo. Kalen was just an
really?
extra. Yeah, Kalen
We
was just
gotta
there
see that.
waving. I'll find
It's
it.
the Mandalorian. He was an Ewok.
You got to ask Fonda Lear if he knows what if he's doing the cookie. Oh, did you ask Kalen? He just walked in.
Oh no, I'm getting that show that Kalen was in. But I'll ask Fondelier.
Yeah, ask Fonda Lear. This is important. See, being right is cool, but being right on an island,
Yeah,
that can get you
rough.
thrown
Lonely.
down a well.
that's right.
You know what I mean? Historically, this did not go well for Copernicus.
You're right about that.
Oh, all these updated references.
I know. Wagon trains, Copernicus,
Mickey Mantle. Hunter's
Mickey
Wagon.
Mantle. Matt didn't know cookie either, but did he know the reference? Like that the wagon train cook was named Cookie? Like we have to figure out whether people even know the reference point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Let me check.
Yeah, you should check. All right, let's do one more, Gina Grad.
Okay, let's see here.
But run. This is important.
Yeah. Well, this is a kind of a feel-good story. Law and Order SVU, been around for 1 million years. They're trying to help actors who've been unemployed for a year now because of coronavirus, and specifically Broadway actors. Fox News says SVU is hiring Broadway stars who haven't been able to perform since last March when all the shows were shut down. The closure has left 97,000 workers who rely on Broadway for their livelihood just grappling with unemployment. SVU is currently in its 22nd season, and it's about to get a lot fancier.
More fabulous.
And a lot more fabulous.
Hi, I was Sweeney Todd for 8 years. Great, you're a fucking corpse.
Matt Fondelier's not heard of any of this cookie business
Wow.
before, so he
See?
doesn't know the reference.
And I grew up with this stuff, and I didn't know it.
No. See, this is our confusion. The confusion is there's two groups of dimwits in the Carolla galaxy of dimwits. There's the group that didn't connect cookie,
Right.
the name
With
of the cook, with cooking.
Yeah.
And then there's the even dimmer bulbs in this cloaked Christmas tree of stupidity. Those are the ones who have no idea what we're referencing.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
haven't heard of cookie. They don't know
Right.
what it
In
is
that
he's the
genre.
cook. Right.
Right.
I think Matt may not even know the genre thing. But either way, couldn't they, Gina, you love you love Broadway.
I do.
They not figured out a way to put a bunch of cameras in there and charge everyone $19 a download and do a
tried.
live whatever? Doesn't it seem like they
Yeah.
should have done that?
I agree. They've done a lot of the Zoom stuff, but it's from what I've seen, it's mostly all charity. They're also doing something that's kind of cameo like. So, like one-on-one, like pay $100 and you get to talk to Idina Menzel for 20 minutes. Everyone's trying a different angle, but I don't know anything about, full casts coming together and live streaming anything. And I agree. They should have done that.
All right. So did I step on it, or they're just going to hire these actors for?
It's just going to be a fabulous season of SVU because it's all going to be Broadway-licious.
All right. Let's bring it home before we get any gayer.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina Grad. That was the news with Gina Grad.
Well, last but not least, we got Simply Safe. Simply Safe. There's 2 I's in there. Home security. Go to simplysafe.com and sign yourself up and get this fantastic product. And